Hello everybody, I wanted to put this little video together to help you form a better thesis statement. I looked over some of them yesterday when I was in the lab and they were good, but some of them I felt needed a little extra work. So before you hand in your paper, make sure you review your thesis statement once again. So first of all, the thesis statement has to be debatable. You have to have other people who will disagree with you. Let's take a look at this one. Pollution is bad for the environment. Who is going to disagree with that? So this would not be a good thesis statement because it's not debatable. Next we have one here that would be. At least 25% of the federal budget should be spent on limiting pollution. Here you're saying, yes, I want to spend 25% of the budget to help with pollution problems. There may be other people who will say, there is no problem with pollution really, so why don't we just knock it down to 5%? Or some people want to spend more. So this is a highly debatable thesis statement, and this would be good for an argumentative research paper. Here's another one. America's anti-pollution efforts should focus on privately owned cars. So here you're saying that some people will be, some people will say, well, not just privately owned cars, but what about recycling programs? What about other options? So this would be debatable. A good thesis statement. Now you don't want your thesis to be too broad or too general. Take a look at this one. Drug use is detrimental to society. Well, yeah, but how is it detrimental? You want to be more focused. And what kind of drug are you going to talk about? All drugs, or are you going to narrow the topic? And also, society is a rather large topic. Are you talking about all society? Older adults, children, teenagers? You need to have a focus on the population in which you're going to talk about. Society is too broad. I had this discussion with one group where we decided to define what children were in their paper. So children, so they put like blah 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 for children. Children is broad, but in their introductory they said children is defined as younger youth to adolescents. That way the reader had a clear picture of what the paper was going to be about, because children is a broad topic. So if you take a look here, drug use, what kind of drug use? Over-the-counter drugs? This next? So here they decided to put illegal drug use is detrimental because it encouraged gang violence. So here we're talking about illegal drugs, not all drugs, and we're talking about gang violence. Not just in society. We're narrowing our focus to gang violence. Now we're going to go back to the one where we said it's debatable. At least 25% of the federal budget should be spent on limiting pollution. But how should it be spent? So if you come down here, they're going to add the plan of development. They're going to add in the details. So here it is. At least 25% of the federal budget should be spent on helping upgrading businesses to clean technologies. That's number 1. Researching renewable energy sources. That's number 2. And planting more trees in order to control or eliminate pollution. That is number 3. So now we've narrowed this down and we've given the reasons for our suggestion at 25% of the federal budget. And I also wanted to point out, because you will learn or are learning about parallelism, if you notice, their reasoning is helping, researching, planting. ing, ing, ing. These are parallel, meaning that everything flows the same. Each of the points of the plan of development in this thesis statement begin with helping, researching, planting. It runs more smoothly and it makes it easier for your readers to follow. Okay, let's go to the next example. And then back here we said that this was the American car. Where is it? Excuse me guys. Bear with me. I lost. Okay, America's anti-population efforts should focus on privately owned cars. Remember, this was debatable because some people might want us to refocus or focus on recycling programs. However, they rewrote it to make it even more specific here. America's anti-pollution efforts should focus on privately owned cars. Why? Because it would allow more citizens to contribute to national efforts and care about the outcome. So here they're giving a reasoning, and it's an appropriate focus. And notice that they use the word, where am I? That's good. I'm sorry, guys, I jumped ahead of myself. Now, I didn't really go over the specific types of claims or thesis statements, but here's one. It's a claim of cause and effect. The popularity of SUVs in America has caused pollution to increase. Because SUVs are larger, they produce more pollution. This is a cause and effect. Because the popularity has gone up, so has the pollution, which is the effect. Then we have claims about value. A lot of you will probably use this type of thesis in yours. Global warming is the most pressing challenge facing the world today. It's a value judgment. And then here, claims about solutions or policies. Instead of drilling for oil in Alaska, we should be focusing on ways to reduce oil consumption, such as researching renewable energy sources. So here they're saying, look, let's not drill for oil anymore. Let's look for a solution. And we should, I wouldn't put we should. But that's just my my personal opinion on that. And the last thing is, I've gone over these thesis statements, but I want to make sure you know what they should include. Illegal drug use, that is the topic. Illegal drugs is the topic. What are we going to talk about? The use of it is detrimental. So here we know that it's bad, it's a negative. And then we're going to give a reason, because it encourages gang violence. So we have the topic, our viewpoint, which is it's a negative, it's bad, and why? Because it encourages gang violence. So make sure you include those three aspects in your thesis statement, and it will be strong. All right. Good luck, everyone.